Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Yoga Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। उकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhutagubhashayam Yat Sarva Vishayatitam Tasmai Sarvavide Namaha Samapayya Kriya Sarvaha Taramyadhana Purvikaha Brahma Vidya Madhedani Vaktum Vedah Prachakrame Karmani Deha Yogartham Deha Yoge Priya Priye Dhruve Syatam Tato Raghana Veshashchaiva Tatah Kriya Dharma Dharma Tato Jnasya Deha Yogastatha Punaha Evam Nitya Pravrittoyam Samsaraschakravarbrisham Ajnanam Tasya Moolam Syat Iti Tadhanamishyate Brahma Vidyata Arabdha Tato Nishreya Bhave. In 3 and 4, verses 3 and 4, we saw a very important point. What did we see? We saw the innards of the machine called samsara. We saw the entrails of samsara, not a very pretty sight. If you take apart samsara, what do you get? You get a lot of interesting things. We also saw the tree, family tree of avidya. Avidya family tree we saw, and we saw in this context, we also saw that, and we saw the chain called samsara. Each thing is intertwined with the other things. So what is the first thing? Look and tell. It's an open book test. Okay. Read, look, decide, tell. So, first what is there? Yeah, karma. And what does karma lead to? Deha, body. And because of the body, what is there? Pleasure and pain. And because of pleasure and pain, what is there? Raga, dvesha, strong preferences and prejudices. Because of that, what is there? More karma. Now don't forget, because suddenly you can't take punya papa. Then because of more karma, what is there? Yeah, more headache, more punya, more papa. Then because of more punya, more papa, what is there? More janmas. And so the cycle goes on and on. Vrisham means very forcefully, tirelessly, like a chakra, this samsara goes round and round and round. and one feels caught. Like even in the ancient times, even about 20, 30 years ago, uh, in rural South India, there was a different way of extracting oil. So they would chain one bull, short leash. One bull would be chained to a stick like a mortar. And then there would be underground, there would be a vessel, place. And then all the seeds were put there. And the bull doesn't know what to do because it keeps trying to yank the chain or the rope. And the only place it can go is around because it cannot go forward, it cannot go backward. The only place it can go around. So it would slowly move around, and then that mortar would keep going like this, up, down, like this, and then the oil was extracted like that. And then because the weight has to be, it has to be weighted down so that it doesn't move, there's no other place to move. There would be a little yoke from the neck of the bull and a stone would be tied. Kind of very cruel to look at it. This is how the person feels in samsara. That's why I talked about this. Yeah. Can't go forward, can't go back. Can't go this way, can't go that way. And what is being produced as a result of samsara, one is not in the least bit interested in. The bull is not going to enjoy the sesame oil. Even if you tell the bull it is full of antioxidants, it's not, it doesn't care about that at all. And so samsara is like that, weighs you down and you feel there is no choice. One feels victimized and choiceless. And then we also saw the family tree of Ajnanam. So when you see the family tree of Ajnanam, what do you get? You get the same thing. The family tree of Ajnanam gives you the same headache. There it looks linear, but there also it is cyclical. Because it starts with the Ajnanam and ends with Punarjanma, and the Punarjanma loops back into Ajnanam because when one is born, one is what? Born enlightened? No way. One is born in Ajnanam, again the cycle repeats in a terrible way. So the samsara is always described like this. Why? Because after studying verses 3 and 4, the idea is that one should start feeling slightly nauseous. Okay? Because of all that round movement. On the sorry-go-round. You can't call it the merry-go-round. It's the sorry-go-round of life. So the idea is that one should feel slightly sick, slightly nauseous and repulsed. And if you're feeling like that, you are on the right track. You want to be able to say, you know what, I need to get out of this. I never saw it quite in this dark, brazen way before. I never saw it quite in this way before. I think I need a way out. Come forward, come. So I need a way out. I can't handle this. That's where it should take you to. But then, there are always objections raised. Adi Shankara does a disservice to samsara. Samsara is not all that bad. Come on. You give these terrible examples of the bull that is yoked to a rope and then it is producing oil. And we feel like calling the SPCA and this is terrible. And what are you doing to us? Samsara is not all that bad. There are many things to look forward to. Like what? Well, there is food. Especially at this ashram, very good food. As many times a day as you need. There is food to look forward to. And then what else? There are people, there's companionship. Even in the ashram, outside the ashram, everywhere. There is companionship to look forward to. There is food to look forward to. Food, friends, and fun. The 3 F's of samsara. And how can you say it's like bad and all these things? So when the samsara, the answer to this is as follows. When the samsara is depicted, objective and an abstracted standpoint. The human mind and the ahankara is very, very forgetful. The ahankara doesn't have very good memory. It has early onset dementia or something. You bash it up, it gets bashed up repeatedly, and then it is back for more. It forgets. It forgets that there are problems. It forgets that what happened last time. It forgets. And this forgetting is because one is not really asking the right question. One is wondering how to slow down this pace of samsara so that I don't feel nauseous. Or can you give me some kind of some acupressure points that I can press for the nausea? That is what the question is. How to swim in the ocean of samsara and what is that called? Avoid the alligators, the sharks, the orcas. Orcas also can kill. So how to avoid that? We are asking the wrong question. In fact, we want a band-aid to make samsara little bit better. Adi Shankara is not interested in that. Because samsara is what? Nice in the, what is samsara? That which is nice in the morning, but is rotten by the evening. This is samsara. This is what karma phala is. You wake up in the morning, you feel good, everything, you say, what a nice day, I have a good feeling. And you go, yay, catch in the back. Sudden catch in the back. As soon as I said yay, Prarabdha said nay. This is samsara. And so, even though there may be bursts of sweetness somewhere in between, betwixt and between complaining and betwixt and between crying, there is a smile. There is a moment of happiness. There is a burst of joy, some sweetness. And I am a sweet hog. I want these moments of sweetness. Not only I want them again and again. I want them to stay. Here is the problem. If you can enjoy those bursts of sweetness, Priya, while being objective to both Priya and Apriya, which is definitely that which is to follow, then there is no problem. But what do? We try to engineer the Priya and lengthen the Priya and then shorten or eliminate Apriya. And these frantic efforts to reduce or eliminate Apriya gets one into hot water. This is the problem. That's where the raga dvesha come in. That's where the pain and the sorrows come in, etc. I'm not able to look at Priya and Apriya dispassionately and say, whatever comes, let it come. The one who says that is a jnani, if not a jnani, at least a yogi, a karma yogi. Yadrichhalabha santushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha. Yadrichhalabha santushtaha means the one who is pleased. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. The one who is pleased, contented with whatever may come, rather than try to manipulate life and milk Priya from it and throw away Apriya. Whatever comes, let it come. Not trying to change anything. Why? Because we understand that Priya and Apriya are invariable results of having a body. Pleasure and pain will be there. And this pleasure and pain, if I don't watch out and if I'm not objective, turn into the alternating cycles of joy and sorrow. Actually, if they were alternating cycles, I would be fine. Because when I have Apriya, then what do I know? Next, what will come? Priya. But that's not how it is. Why? Because of my prarabdha. That's why. Apriya, Priya, Apriya, little bit of Priya. This is how it's more like. Long bouts of Apriya. And this all can be traced astrologically. You don't even have to worry about any other planets. Just take Saturn. That's enough. You take Saturn and then what? Then you can see. So when Saturn is in the 12th, first and second house, each house is very slow moving. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. How much is that? I know people here are very bad at mathematics, but try. Yeah. How many? 7.5. Abba. Okay. 7.5 years of challenges. Every 30th year, one can look forward to 7.5 years of what we think are challenges, difficulties, etc. Then this is, house means from the natal moon. That is what, that's how the houses are calculated. Then again, when the ascendant, yes, ascendant, and that's what it is. And then so from the ascendant, when the Saturn goes into the 8th house, 2.5 years of challenges and difficulties. And then not to be outdone, when it goes into the 4th house, again, 2.5 years of again challenges and difficulties, like this. And this is just the birth chart. Then there is another chart, Navamsha chart. There also we can see. And then if you combine all of this together, the fact that you had one good day is itself a surprise. Then you see, then there are other miscreants. What are they? Rahu. Who? Rahu. And then Ketu. All of these. And then there are always some mischief is there. Then there is natal Rahu and Ketu, and then there is Gochara. Transiting Rahu and Ketu. Similarly, there is the natal Saturn, which is always permanently in a bad place. And then there is the transiting Saturn, which again compounds these difficulties. This is all shown that, it's not to say that, oh, the birth chart is bad or anything like that. It just shows what is illustrated in verses, 3 and 4. This is just a manifestation of this prarabdha. But if one is interested in self-knowledge, and one will not look at these as difficulties or challenges, but one will look at it as a teaching. Not just Jupiter and Venus, Shukracharya, Venus and Jupiter is Brihaspati, but also Shani is a teacher. His methods are different, that's all. Shani teaches by taking away all your possessions. And then he says, okay, let's talk now. Not the soft Vedanta. It will be nice for you to have Vairagya. Shani doesn't talk like that. Shani's language is more in action rather than words. Shani takes away things you love, people you love, everything, and then says, okay, now let's talk. Let's see where you're going to go now. Let's see on what you are going to depend now. And then you come to the same realization, you come to the same understanding that, okay, this is what samsara is. That's the whole idea of the difficult periods in one's life and the challenges that one has to face. This is exactly the idea that one is sick and slightly nauseous of this repeating state of affairs and one wants to get out. I want a ticket out of samsara. And what is this ticket? It is described in verse number 5 by finally outing the mafia don of samsara. Who is that? Mr. Ajnanam. Staying behind the scenes, can you see Ajnanam? No. Can you talk to Ajnanam? No. Staying behind the scenes, he casts a pall, of fear and sorrow on everything he controls. Or if you don't like he, we are very, generous. If you don't like he, you can say she, avidya, then you would say. Or ajnanam. So he, she, it, everything. So this ajnana, tasya moolam syat. Tasya means we have to look at what is being referred to in the previous word. Samsara. Samsarasya moolam syat. Moola means what? Root. The root of samsara is not knowing myself. Not knowing yourself is the root cause of samsara. It is that which converts the objective priya and apriya into raga, dvesha, and then actions that ensue because there is fear, avoidance, dvesha, and then there is the desire to elongate the pleasurable moments, priya and raga. Priya and raga go together, and dvesha and what's the other one? Apriya go together. Pravritti, nivritti, pursuits follow. And if I don't understand the root cause, then I will just be trying to look at quelling down the symptoms. That's why if you just try to look at raga dvesha, it won't help. I have to manage my anger. What are you going to do? I'm going to take anger management classes. I have to have a more positive attitude. So then what will you do? I have to take a workshop on positive thinking. Take a workshop on positive thinking. The only person that's benefiting financially is the leader of the workshop. Positive thinking means what? You feel grateful you have legs because you see a person without legs, and that's what you are told to be grateful. Okay, that's a start. After that, what? Then I see a person in a Mercedes Benz. Okay. The fact that I have legs no more is a place to be grateful for. So these things don't work. These are all little band-aids. It's good that I have thinking a little bit outside the box. Before, what would I do? More of the same. Malls, movies, arguments, friends, whatever it was, I was in samsara trying to make myself feel better, trying to pursue priya apriya. Here at least I'm trying to look at how to manage raga, dvesha, anger, fear, sorrow, depression, how to do that. But still it is a band-aid. Because whatever you try to eliminate, The raga dvesha you try to eliminate is back if you don't look into the root cause. Similarly, in a mafia gang setup, you can take out the small fries. The person, let's say it's some kind of a big drug enterprise. Things are being imported from all over the world, and then things are being sold, purchased and sold in the market, in an invisible market. Only few people know that. Things are being sold on the street corners. And then if you catch hold of these sellers in the street corners and eliminate them or put them in the jail, eliminate them means not kill them, but take them out of the street, put them in jail, what will happen? Nothing. New batch of people will be found and they will start doing the dirty job that these people went to jail for. Again and again, same thing will happen. So the best way to deal or end this drug enterprise is how? Catch hold of the dawn. Yes. There was in fact one Don in the 70s in America. His name, they kept a name, the police kept a name for him called Teflon Don, because none of the charges would stick to him like a non-stick pan. It would just come flying off. So you have to take out the head of this enterprise. The king has to be eliminated. When the king is eliminated, the kingdom is naturally eliminated because the king is the root cause of this nefarious kingdom of addictions. So when the king is gone, there is no kingdom. No, but maybe there will be a successor. No, because here there is no successor. They are all very, dictatorial. They don't believe in successors and all that. They don't trust anybody. Even their own children, they don't trust. And they feel they are invincible. It takes a certain amount of narcissism to head this kind of a enterprise. They don't feel like they'll ever die. They feel like they're immortal. They're invincible. They don't trust their own children. So who will succeed? Even the henchman is being watched unbeknownst to him. Because in this kind of an enterprise, people are, you don't trust anybody. Even your own child that you gave birth to, you do not trust. And so you take out the king, and the kingdom is all in disarray. And here the dawn is Ajnana. Ajnanam you take out. And that's what is saying. Ajnanam tasya moolam syat. This thing called samsara, qualified by all these attributes which we have been discussing thus far, and having a cyclical nature, keeping on repeating itself and catching me within it and making me an addict of Priya and a detester of Apriya and making me go round and round with it. I have become a junkie, really. That's why I'm giving this drug lord example. I have become an addict. And if I don't get the Priya fix, I get all upset. What's happening? And therefore I sell myself short. I don't respect my own value system. I don't respect the value system that is dear to me, that I myself value. Therefore I go against dharma, because the addiction is so severe. The addiction to pleasurable things and people and object and events is so severe, I'll go any lengths to make sure I get that. And when I don't get that, I have withdrawal symptoms. Oh, withdrawal symptoms means I withdraw from samsara or not at all. Withdrawal symptoms means I become desperate. And in this desperation, the first thing to go is dharma. What is dharma? My own system of values, my own attitudes, what I respect about myself. That is also dharma, swadharma. What I respect about others, what I respect about life, what I respect about how people should deal with one another. Those very values that I respect, that are very dear to me, come under threat. By who? Not anybody else. There is no foreign invasion happening. It is myself alone. I am the threat to the very values that I have enshrined in the temple of my heart. This is a very rank form of self-sabotage. And as a result of that, I lose these values because I'm ready to compromise in order to get something that I want badly, and something that I think I deserve, and something that I think I do not have, and something that I think is the lack of something is the cause of all of my problems. Therefore, I keep selling myself short. How else do I sell myself short? Let me count the ways. The other way is just to disrespect myself repeatedly. I have a standing. There is a certain amount of self-respect. We are not talking of pride. We are not talking of arrogance. We are not talking of insufferable ways of being. There is a certain self-respect. This is talked about very nicely in the Kathopanishad by Nachiketa, who says, Bahunamemi prathamaha, Bahunamemi madhyamaha. When he wonders why his father is sending him to Lord Yama, he figures, it's like a self-talk. It's like a monologue of Nachiketa. And what does he say? Among many people, I can see why I have been sent here. Because Yama has gone out on tour, okay? So he's having some time to introspect. So what does he say? Bahuna me prathamaha. I can see why I have been sent here. Among many people, if you compare my skills, my skill set, my knowledge, my buddhi, my intelligence, I would come first. But he's modest. It's not pride, because very quickly he says, Bahuna memi madhyamaha. Whereas there may be many people more qualified than me. If judged by other standards or in other situations or other skill sets, I might come somewhere in the middle, average. He never says, I come the last. This is a very beautiful and an indirect, implied way of counting certain qualifications for Vedanta that are not discussed publicly. Publicly, we have Shamadama, Upadriti, Titiksha, we have memorized all that. If not, you have time. Please do so. We are not talking of those kinds of qualifications. This is like an implied qualification that I have a healthy amount of self-respect. And in fact, if a child is not subject to neglect or abuse, it is there. A child, if it is raised in a good way, that is there. You see that in the 2-year-old. You see that even in the 4-year-old sometimes. But then, just being in the clutches of apriya robs one of that self-respect. Neglect, abuse, in trauma, in early childhood, robs one of self-respect, robs one of the boundaries, just regular healthy boundaries that we have. It is there. A child that is healthily raised can say, don't touch me. This is not okay. Don't do this. But then, if those very things are compromised, it will be afraid to even speak. And one carries this fear, one carries this kind of a decimation, if you will, a fragmentation of the self. Growing up under the heavy weight of obligations. You must do this, you must not do that, you must behave this way, you must not behave this way, you have to be like this or else, or you don't have to be like this or else. By the time one grows to be an adult, all one wants is to be validated. Okay, what do you want me to do? Tell me, I'm hungry for love. This is what the jiva is reduced to. The jiva becomes a love junkie. And what will somebody under the addiction of a drug do? Anything at all. Just give me that. And so here the jiva is a validation junkie. Just approve of me at least once, a little bit. Okay, then will you go away? No, I'll come back again. Approve of me a little more. Why? Because it's addictive. It's addictive because one doesn't understand that one is of the nature of love. Ananda is the dynamic form of Ananda, the dynamic manifestation of Ananda is all love. Love for the self, love for everything else, because everything else is also what? Just the self alone. So this Ananda, if it has been suppressed, then one thinks that this Ananda is outside of me. And I am undergoing withdrawal symptoms and I want to be fixed. I want a fix. But a fix is never enough. A fix is only until that encounter with that validation is done. And after that, what? One comes back for more and more and more and more endlessly. You can never validate somebody enough, the one who is feeling invalidated. You try, you'll see. And that is what it is. No matter how much you validate, it's not enough. One is hungry for more. Love me, take care of me, approve of me. Not only approve of me. It's not enough to say, I approve of you. Show me that you approve of me. Okay, here is a present. Okay, all right. I approve of you. That's not what I want. Show me in the way I think you have to show me. Okay, maybe somebody can work hard and do this, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough because it's a distorted version of when one's own self understanding of oneself is so distorted. How can somebody else intuit what that is? And we are not even talking of the self as in Satchidananda self. We are talking even on the empirical level of the personality. So how are you going to come out of this state of affairs? How is the hunger for validation going to come to an end? Is it ever going to come to an end? How is the love hunger, the hunger for approval, the hunger to be always validated? How is this addiction going to go? We are really in big time need of an antidote. And that antidote is nothing but Atmajnanam. Why? Because that validation that I'm looking for is already there. The love that I want to be shown is already there, is already present. The approval that I'm seeking happens to be a self that is already approvable. So I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. How are you going to find this out? Where are you going to dig? What are you going to do? Therefore, the need to come out of the realm of doing into the realm of knowing what is already there. Do you see the difference? Do you see that if one becomes a beggar for validation, begging for validation is a doing. But knowing that I'm already approval is not approvable, is not a doing, it is a knowing. It is a knowing. There's a difference between doing and knowing. Doing is action. Action has results. And no matter how much you act, action is finite and the results of action therefore cannot be infinite because the finite can never produce the infinite. The finite produces what? Finite. And if you're fine with that, no problem. But it cannot produce the infinite. Why? Because the infinite is not a product, it is you. If the infinite were to be put together by karma, if such a thing called infinite, limitless, if it were there, and if it were to be put together through karma, then it would definitely, terribly, fully fall apart. I want an infinite. I seek an infinite. I seek the forever, which doesn't fall apart. If you want that which doesn't fall apart, it should have never been put together in the first place. Infinite cannot, should not have a birthday. You should never be able to say happy birthday limitlessness. No. Happy birthday Atma, because Atma is what is limitless. If you say happy birthday Atma, Atma will say, sorry, I am never born. I don't ever die. No birth, no death. Deathless and birthless, already, always the same. Happy birthday, you can wish the body, mind, sense complex, no problem. But don't ever say many happy returns. Ah, not nice. That means come back again and again and again. Happy birthday, okay. Many happy returns, never say. So, the antidote has to be outside of this systemic samsara. The samsara is a system of many, many moving parts, as we have seen, and therefore the solution, what kind of a solution? A permanent solution to samsara cannot be from within samsara. A wonderful writer said, the master's tools cannot dismantle the master's house. An African American writer said that. Very beautiful. The master's tools, because she was addressing the problem of slavery and the after effects of that. The master's tools means the tools crafted by the oppressor cannot be the source of my freedom, cannot be used to free me. Why? Because they are tools of oppression. They are not tools of liberation. The tools of liberation have to come from outside of the system that is oppressing me. So here, the tools of liberation cannot have even an iota of these things that we have discussed. What are they? Karma. Gone, because it's a tool of oppression. Cancel it out. Deha, any fixes or level of the body. Deha includes also mind, senses. Gone, cut it out. And then pleasurable and unpleasurable situations. Cancel that. And then raga, dvesha, that also doesn't help. If you're angry about samsara, no big deal, because you can. Everybody else is also angry. At the most, you can have a support group. That's all. It's not going to get you out of samsara. Misery loves company. You can have a support group and vent how angry you are. That doesn't get you out. And then What else is there? Papa Punya. Oh yes, Punya, that's my ticket. I'm gonna go places. Where are you going to go? I'm going to go to the lokas. Which loka? Oh, there are many to choose from. I'll go to a loka and far away I'll go to Indra loka. Why? Because I'm going to do lot of punya. Here, have some donation, take some money. I'm going to start with you. And then what? I'm going to do Ishta Karma, means lot of fire rituals. Purta Karma, reaching out actions. This is what is the ticket to heaven, etc. I'm going to go there. Oh, really? You're going to go there? Yes. And in fact, a lot of people believe that going into heaven is moksha. And people say in vernacular languages, such and such a person got moksha. Unless they studied Vedanta, they did not get moksha. You got moksha from them, that's all. That's mainly that's what they are saying. You got moksha from them, they got moksha from you. That's all it is. There's no more, they didn't get moksha. Because what takes you to these lokas is what? Ishtakarma and Purtakarma. And again, what is that? Karma. We have already cancelled out karma. Yeah, but I brought it through the back door. Shame on you. But anyhow, since you have brought it, we have to deal with it. Karma will take me. Karma is finite or infinite? Finite. Even the biggest donation in the whole world will have a number on the check. That means what? It is finite. Even if you do yajna all day and meditate all night, it is still finite. And if one lives for 90 years, still finite. And so you go to the loka with some currency. You have exchanged the punya for the heavenly currency. And boy, it's going to cost you. Indra, come over here, let's have a selfie. And then what? Then you find a chunk of punya having been deducted because you stood next to Indra. Oh, what shall I do this evening? I think I'll go to a concert by the Gandharvas, Yakshas and Kinnaras, the dancing celestials, the musical celestials. You enjoy the concert, another chunk of punya gone. The first portion of the Veda advertises heaven like a glossy travel brochure where you see blue beaches, white sands, and one round table with 2 chairs under an umbrella and 2 drinks kept there which have their own umbrellas. You see this in the brochure. Never understood why, but anyhow. You see this in the glossy brochure. And then, this is exactly what I need. I'm booking this holiday. And then you book it, and then you go there, and you understand that what you have been subject to is a very clever Photoshop job. All the bodies on the beach have been Photoshopped out. All the concrete jungle in the form of hotels and motels and restaurants and everything, shopping area, has been blocked out, photoshopped out. All the other tables where, there is no room even. If you turn around, you can eat from the other person's table. That is also photoshopped out. You can eliminate. You can do clever things with photos, with videos. You just have been shown this exclusive picture because that's what you want. And the market caters to what you want. The Veda is also a market of Priya. The first portion of the Veda also caters to what you want and gives you this wonderful depiction of heaven. All true because we have Shraddha. What does it say? That, of course, you leave behind this body, this loda body full of aches and pains, and you don't know if when you're walking, if all the body parts are coming with you or not, there is a doubt. So this kind of body you will not take. It has been, you get a kind of a celestial body. Then, what about my mind? I am a complainer. You drop the mind also, because the mind is what? Sukshma Sharira. So some of the difficulties of the mind are suspended till the next birth. So they are dropped for now. And instead, you have a mind in heaven without any core issues. No childhood issues, no trauma, and therefore no drama. Very nice. So you're always happy. And then what is the other thing to advertise about heaven? You go there and Lord Yama tries to come there. And there is a big no entry board on the gates, on the pearly gates of heaven. There is a no entry board. Lord Yama not allowed. Why waste words? You put Yama in a circle and cancel it out. You put a red slash. Finished. Yama sees that, oh, and goes away. And you don't grow old. You don't grow old. Oh, I really want to go there now. So you don't have to pack your makeup, your anti-wrinkle cream, nothing you have to pack, because there's no growing old in heaven. How do you know all this? That is what the first portion of the Veda says, even the Upanishad says. Nachiketa knows all this. Nachiketa says to Lord Yama, na tatra tvam. You're asking me to go to heaven. Okay, yes, I can see one good thing. You are not there. You don't come to catch me there. Najaraya vibheti. There is no fear of old age. There is nothing there that will make the enjoyments curtailed. But there is a very big drawback. What's the drawback? Vapas aega, will come back. What is the thing that will make me come back? The same thing that took you there will make you come back. Karma currency took you there. And the lack of karma currency, when you have spent every single heavenly dollar, you will be back. This is why you can't say, I will go to a loka. If after understanding this, one still says, I will go to a loka and sit there, they are at best loco. That's all. Can't do that. Because what I want is the permanent. No, I don't want the permanent. Okay, then in that case, don't come to the next class. Save yourself the trouble. Because here we deal with Nitya, not Anitya. In fact, that becomes the first qualification for Vedanta. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. The discrimination between that which is forever and that which is finite. And here there is a shock awaiting the honest person who does this discrimination. And what is the shock? Everything that I encounter is finite. Everything I encounter is temporary. People, objects, things, places, encounters. Everything is finite, including lokas. Everything is finite. The one that is saying everything is finite happens to be the only thing that is free of finitude, happens to be infinite. Therefore, the self-knowledge, therefore, the self-discovery as the only ticket out of samsara. No other way. Can't we compromise? No. If we compromise, we will be like how I said in the opening lecture. 2 plus 2 is equal to 3. Please, pretty please, let 2 plus 2 is equal to 3. Is that possible? No, not possible. It will be just like me saying, look at this wonderful mango, very juicy. Who wants? So, therefore, we are at a crisis point where the choices are actually very, very clear. In fact, it's not a choice. It's a choiceless choice to study Vedanta, because that's the only thing that is there. And yet that is chosen last. Nobody says, oh, I see the shortcomings of samsara, I see the shortcomings of karma and karma phala. Let me go to a teacher. Let me go and gain this knowledge. And I can't get this knowledge apne aap by myself, so let me go to an ashram and gain this knowledge. Nobody says. One is dragged to the ashram, kicking, screaming many times. Or one goes because that's the last possible resort. Nothing else has worked. And somebody you know is going. And you say, all right, I'll come along. I've tried, and already one is hopeless. I have tried this, I have tried that, and nothing has worked. Okay. 10 days, all right. Let's try this also and see what happens. So the viveka, the discrimination, is accompanied by what? Vairagya. Dropping of the things, the penchant, the attachment, the obsession, and the addiction to things which are finite. The world of finite, I stop engaging with. The sooner the better, really. Sooner the better. Let it drop. And then what else? Then after that, moksho me bhuyat iti tivra ichha. An intense desire to be free has to accompany viveka and vairagya. Viveka is there, yes. Vairagya is there, check. But it's okay. Even if I'm in samsara, it's okay. Then the knowledge is not going to shine as an option. Forget as a choiceless choice. It's not even going to be one of the options. And so, mumukshutvam means the desire for freedom, but that translation does not do it justice. Mumukshutvam, yet another very important qualification, does not mean just desire for freedom. It means to take seriously this desire for liberation and to know that the desire for liberation is not on a par with the desire for chocolate cake. We should see, one should be able to see very clearly and fully that the desire for liberation and the desire for chocolate cake have nothing in common. The desire for chocolate cake is a last-ditch attempt to be happy within samsara. The desire to be free is the desire to be free of longings, which is the hallmark of samsara. The two are very, very, very different. Therefore, the solution, Vedanta Shastra, is not one among many solutions in the world of samsara. Because this mumukshutvam is understood well and is taken seriously. It's not yet one more option, yet one more thing I'm going to accomplish. That's why it often happens. And you would have had this experience yourself. Those of you who are taking the retreats or studying online will invite a friend. Come, do this with me. And what will they say? Too busy. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm doing that. I don't have time. I can't do this right now. That shows that mumukshutvam has been, at least in the minds of such people, who think it's one of the many options. For such people, mumukshutvam has been co-opted into yet one more solution within samsara, rather than the solution that's going to get me out of samsara. Mumukshutvam means delineating clearly the desire for objects and the desire for knowing the subject as free and whole and full. Then one more qualification is there, but actually it's a six-pack. So there are 6 within that we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.